Kingdom Bosses. Kingdom Bosses. This is Leroy McKenzie Jr. I'm coming to you today to talk with you about Kingdom Boss leadership. I'm going to talk to you today about the 3 pillars of Kingdom Boss leadership. What is it to be a leader in the kingdom of God, and those 3 pillars that have to do with that. So we're going to get into this because I want to go over these 3 things. I'm going to give you these three pillars, and hopefully after you listen to this, after you watch this, you will be enlightened, you will be empowered, and you will be impacted, because that's what I aim to do. I aim to teach you, I aim to equip you, and then I intend to impact you in a way that where the knowledge and information and resources that I give you in this, you will be able to take that and use them not only for yourself, but you will also be able to use that to teach someone else. So that is the intent of everything that I do with my company, J&F Enterprises. So we're going to get into this. We're going to talk about the 3 pillars. And I'm going to give you the 3 pillars first, and then we're going to go into each of the pillars for you, if you will. So here we're going to go. Here we go. So you can write these down, take notes. Please take notes. I hope that you're able to, or you can play it back. But I want you to be able to take this, and you'll be able to study the notes and be able to go back over it, because I want you to be able to use this in your business and be able to use it in your everyday everyday use. Hopefully you can use it in your everyday use of of building your kingdom boss business. And we'll say that the kingdom boss business, because that's what we're about. We're about Kingdom Bosses is about building businesses, building ministries for the kingdom. So here we go. The 3 pillars are create, build, and produce. I'm going to say that again for you. That's create, pillar 1. Pillar 2 is to build, and pillar 3 is to produce. Create is your vision, your mission, your purpose. What is it that you're doing? Why is it that you do it? What are you looking to do? Pillar 2, which is to build, which is your strategy. How do you plan? Putting a plan together, putting a structure together so that you can understand where you are and then where you're trying to get to. And then, of course, pillar 3 is to produce, which is actually the implementation, which is actually putting into action, taking action on what it is that you created, what it is that you're building, and then what you actually intend to have once you've completed the building stage. So those are going to be the 3 pillars that we talk about for you to be able to go into. So let's go into the first stage, the first pillar. Which I said is to create, which is your vision. What is your vision? What is your vision for not only your business, but your vision for the kingdom? How do you see your business in the kingdom? What does it accomplish for the kingdom? What does your business accomplish for the kingdom? And that's something that each of us should think about being kingdom bosses, is what, at the end of the day, what does our business say about the kingdom? What does it do for the kingdom? And how does it advance the kingdom? So that's the first part of the first pillar. That's the first heading under being able to create and having your vision. So that's the first thing. The second thing under creating is to see the big picture. As a kingdom boss, as a leader, you must be able to see the big picture. You must be able to see beyond just what's right in front of you. As leaders, you have to see not only right in front of you, you have to be able to see right around. You have to be able to see around the corner. What is it that we're trying to get to? Because what you're going to find as a leader, as a kingdom leader, people are going to come to you. They have the expectation for you to be able to know how to do certain things, how to be able to get them from where they are to where it is that they're trying to get to. So you have to be able to see the big picture. And I put it like this: you have to be able to see down the field. And I'm a big sports person, so I use sports analogies to kind of be able to help people to understand what we're trying to accomplish and seeing the big picture. I'm going to use this example. Talk about a head coach. There's a head coach for the NBA team, the San Antonio Spurs, and some of you may have heard of him, some of you may not, Greg Popovich. But what Greg Popovich does is he looks at the full season for his team. And throughout the season, he knows that he wants to make the playoffs. He wants his team not only to make the playoffs, but he wants his team to make it to the NBA Finals. So he knows that he has superstar players. His superstar players are those that are his great players. They play the most amount of minutes and everything like that. But he knows throughout the day, throughout the year, throughout the season, that his players, he wants to have his players ready for the playoffs. And if they're playing a lot of minutes during the season, then they will be tired when it comes into the playoffs. So what he does is throughout the season, he will rest certain players. It doesn't matter who they're playing, doesn't matter anything like that. He actually has those players sit because he wants them to be rested at certain times. So he will rest them so that during playoff time, when they're going to be asked to play more minutes, they will be able to play more minutes because they will have been rested throughout the season, and they're not doing as many minutes. They've actually not the wear and tear on their body that they would have had they played all 82 games that they play and played a significant amount of minutes. So he's strategic in what he's in seeing the big picture. Like, I know that I'm going to need these players in the playoffs, so I have to rest them. So he sees the big picture. And you as a kingdom boss, you have to be able to do that. So the next thing is that you must be able to understand your purpose. What is the purpose of your business? Why are you in the business that you're in? Why are you doing what it is that you're doing? Why do you do it? Well, at the end of the day, what is it accomplishing for the kingdom? What is it accomplishing for you? And then what is it accomplishing for those that are with you? So you certainly want to understand that. So I must say these again for you. So the first thing under create is you must understand what it accomplishes, what your business accomplishes for the kingdom. The second thing is you must see the big picture. The third thing is you must understand the purpose, what your purpose is. And then the last thing is what will it accomplish in the end? And we mentioned that before. At the end of the day, what is it accomplishing for the kingdom? What is it saying for the kingdom? What is it doing for the kingdom? Is it advancing the kingdom? Is it bringing others into the kingdom for the purpose of growing the kingdom and bringing those into the kingdom? So those are the three things under the create. The second thing is building, having a strategy, having a plan, having a blueprint for what it is that you want to do. And I recommend everyone have a blueprint, have a business plan. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you should have a business plan. You have some folks that say, well, I didn't necessarily need one. I didn't feel like I needed one. You should have some sort of plan. It may not be a full-fledged business plan, which is what I recommend. But you need to have some kind of structure, some kind of plan in place on how you want to accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish. You wouldn't build a house without first having the blueprint. You can't build a chair without first having a drawing, doing the drawing of the chair, what the chair looks like. So the same thing in your business. You want to be able to do that. You have to be able to see your vision. You have to be able to see what it is that you want to accomplish. Like we talked about in part one, you have to see the beginning, you have to see the end, and what your business plan will do for you is it will give you those steps in between that you need to do in order to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So you got to put it on paper is what I call it. You got to put it on paper. You have to put it on paper so that you can accomplish and you can see the progress that you're making. So the second thing is successful leaders begin with a plan. Leadership begins with a plan because folks are going to come to you. Those who are following you, they have the expectation of being able to see what it is that you see. I don't want to just tell you what I intend to do. I want to actually show you so that you can actually see it, you can follow it, you can understand it, and we can move forward in what it is that we're trying to accomplish together. So you always, leadership begins with a plan. You want to make sure that you have a plan. Leaders build by just surrounding themselves with those that have certain skill sets. So you definitely want to make sure that you surround yourself with individuals that have certain skill sets. I call it surrounding yourself with your 12. We all know that Jesus had 12 disciples. He had 12 individuals that he had with him, that he enlightened, that he empowered, and that he impacted. He taught them, he equipped them, and then he impacted them and sent them out to do the work of the kingdom. Same thing here. You want to make sure that with your business, you have those individuals that have certain skill sets in order to be able to accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish with your business. I'm going to say that again. You want to surround yourself with individuals that have certain skill sets in order to be able to accomplish what it is that you need and want to accomplish. That's having an attorney, that's having a graphic designer, that's having a PR person, that's having an accountant, that's having those individuals on your team and around you that are able to, one, see your vision, but also assist you in being able to get you and your business where it is that you want to accomplish, and also having a mentor. I recommend that you should have a mentor and a mentee, because you should always have three things. You should have someone that's in front of you, which is that person that's a mentor to you, that can show you how to get from where you are to where you're going, because they've been where you're trying to get to. So what better place to be than learn from someone who's already been where it is that you are trying to go to. The second is you have someone that's on your level, in the same kind of level that you are, that is trying to, in the same space that you are, and trying to move forward like you are. And then the third one is you want to have a mentee, which is somebody behind you that you can bring along, that you can groom and show those same things that you learned, that you can show to. And I call that the legacy, giving back and putting back into someone what was poured into you. So those are those things. As far as building, having your strategy, having your business plan. And then the third thing that I will talk about is produce. You got to be able to produce. This is the last thing, because after you created it, after you've built it, then you've got to produce it. It should produce. Any business is in business to produce. And we as kingdom bosses have to have this understanding that we were created to produce. When God created everything, he created everything with the ability to be able to produce. And if we're not producing, we're not operating in our assignment. So you got to understand that. You cannot be a leader and not take action. Let me say that again. Write it down. Put it somewhere so that you can see it. You cannot be a leader and not take action. Can you imagine someone coming to you, being the head of your business, being the kingdom boss that you are, and someone asking you about doing something, accomplishing something, and you do nothing. You say nothing. You like, well, I guess go figure it out. No, that's not how kingdom bosses act. That's not how those of us who are in leadership should be operating. You always, as a leader, have to take action. And then the second thing is implementing your strategy will move you from creating to producing. And that's what you want to do at the end of the day. You want to move from creating to actually producing. And that's what you're doing. That's what you should be doing, because there should be tangible evidence of you moving from your creative space, that create pillar, to the third pillar of producing. You should actually see results. And the results can be a number of things where you see your business growing, you see your brand growing, you see your name getting out there more. I've seen it personally with things that I've done and things that I've implemented in order to be able to effectively grow my brand and grow my business. You have to put yourself out there. You should see that growth in anything that you do. And that's what we're purposed to do. You don't want to have something and it not grow and it not produce and not be producing. The next to last thing is, as leaders, entrepreneurs, you have the responsibility to grow the vision God has given you. As a kingdom boss, it is your responsibility to grow the vision that God has given you. It does you no good to have the vision that God has given you and to sit on it. And the last thing that I'm going to give you is an example of that. In the Bible, every single thing, as I mentioned before, that God created, He gave the ability to produce. And we as men and women have the ability to produce, not only in the physical sense, but in the mental sense, in the cultural sense, and in the business sense, because we should be producing. What happened in the Bible when the three men with talents? What happened? You had the one that had the most talents. They had the second one. They had the third one. The first two doubled their talents. The third one that only had one, he buried his. He did not produce. And as a result of that not producing, that talent was taken from him and given to the one that produced the 10 talent, that ever produced out of the 10 out of it. So when even Jesus himself, when he came upon the fig leaf didn't produce. He cursed it because it was not producing. It was not operating in the assignment. So you as a kingdom boss have the assignment to produce. Whatever your vision is, whatever it is that you have been called to do, have been purposed to do as a kingdom boss, as an entrepreneur, as a business, you have been called to do it. You're also been called to produce in it. So you want to make sure that at the end of the day, that you, to sum it up, that you create your vision, that you build and plan your vision, and then also that you produce your vision. And when you do those three things, when you operate in that, from that premise, and you create, you build, you produce those three pillars, as a kingdom boss leader, you will be operating in your assignment and in what God has intended for you. And you operate and you grow the kingdom. You grow the kingdom. You actually witness for the kingdom, and you are able to be the kingdom boss that God created you to be. So I hope this has helped you. I hope that you will take these notes that I've given to you, these three quick pillars, and be able to create your kingdom boss leadership, and be the kingdom boss that you've been created to be. So my name is Leroy McKenzie Jr. I'm a kingdom boss. I can't wait to see you be the kingdom boss that you've been created to be too.